Hi everyone, Velvet here, and I have some stories for you today. But before we get started, can you please do me a huge favor and like, comment, and subscribe? It'll help the channel out and it'll get you more videos like this. Let's get to it. And our first one comes from Far Librarian 4999. This one's an update to Am I the Beehole for telling my mother that I married into money for never telling my mother. I got some really good feedback on my post and it led to my husband and I staying up most of the night discussing what we wanted to do and a decision was reached. It wasn't an easy one, but we have a child to think of now, and she has to come first. We blocked my mother on every social media. We changed our phone numbers and we reached out to the family lawyer to get in contact with her to inform her that all visits have been stopped after how she spoke to me in front of my sister. She has to get clean for at least a year and with weekly tests. If she wants to see my sister again, my mother can contact our family lawyer if she needs help with the tests, but beyond that, she gets no help from us, unless she wants to go to rehab, which we will pay for directly to rehab, not to her. My husband, sister, and I have also moved in with my in-laws for the time being, as my mother knows where we live. We'll be looking for a new place, and my in-laws are aware of the situation, and we are cutting all contact for now. Honestly, my in-laws are delighted to have us staying with them. When we arrived, the guest room my sister is using for now had an army of squishmallows on the bed. They are her current obsession, and my father-in-law makes sure to bring a new one each time he sees her. I always think she must have them all now, and each time I'm wrong. Now he keeps track of what she has and doesn't have. I don't know, as he never buys doubles. We are settling in well. We are even planning a small holiday with just my husband, sister, and I to get away from the stress we've been under. Nowhere abroad, as she doesn't have a passport yet, but we'll be fixing that soon, as we want to take her to Lapland for Christmas. All in all, we're doing alright though. I admit I feel very conflicted and guilty over this. Even though I know it's the right choice, it just doesn't make it easy. Thank you all so much for your comments and advice on the original post. Hi OP. Yeah, I believe you're absolutely doing the right thing. Like you said, you have a child to watch out for now, and she comes first. Letting your mother, who is a bad example and a bad influence near your child, will probably, near your sister, will probably mess her up. And yeah, she has to hit rock bottom. That means losing everyone, and it has to put a shock to her. And I like how you guys are handling it, where if she wants to make a change, you guys will help her get into rehab and make that change. She has an option. I think you're being more than fair with her, and I believe, yeah, you should put the child first. So OP, not the beehole, and I'm happy we got a nice update. Our second one comes from Numerous Bar 9747. Am I the beehole for only letting my sister tag along on our Disney vacation if she babysits some nights? I'm married with a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old, and I have a sister who is 24 years old. She graduated from college and got a decent first job, but got laid off about a year ago, and has been living with my parents since. I think she may have had some service industry jobs here and there, but generally hasn't worked much in the last year. My wife and I have good jobs, but try to keep it relatively frugal because kids are expensive. My wife and I are planning a trip to Disneyland with my sister-in-law, wife's sister, and her husband and their 5-year-old. My wife and her sister are very close, and her husband and I are decently good friends these days. My sister heard about this trip and is really clamoring to go with us. We never went to Disneyland growing up, and she said she wanted to go forever, and really wants to go with us and the kids. She, however, would not be able to pay her way for the flight, ticket, and all of that. We'd be expected to sponsor it for her, and it would cost us about $1,000. My wife and I talked about it, and decided it'd be worth it for us if she would help babysit for some of the nights and we could just have some adult time. So we offered her this, thinking it was generous, but a win-win for all of us. Long story short, she felt otherwise and said we were trying to take advantage of her and treat her as a nanny, not family. I think this is kind of ridiculous, as she is not my kid. So in my mind, there's not a reason to pay for her, just because if she's not doing anything to be helpful. Would like some feedback from the neutral parties if I'm asking too much. No, OP, I agree with you. This is pretty generous. Going to Disneyland is not cheap. And I live kind of close to one, and it's still not cheap, where I don't have to fly. I can just drive there. Disney's been jacking up their prices. Personally, I don't understand why anybody would still want to go to Disneyland. It's starting to become a crap heap, but you do you. But you're flying out. You're gonna find. You're probably gonna stay at one of their super expensive, overpriced hotels. Don't do that Galaxy one though. That Star Wars one. That's a waste of money where you have to pay to LARP. I don't waste of money, waste of time. But yeah, I think that's a darn good deal. Hey, we'll cover your whole trip. That's about $1,000, and you have to watch our kids a few times. And you didn't say every night or every day. I'm assuming you're going for maybe a week. So I was guessing, maybe a night or two when you guys can go out and enjoy yourselves. Hell, even if it was every night, that'd still be a good deal where she can run around the day and have fun at the park. You know what I mean? So I think she's being very ungrateful, and you guys are being very generous. Like I said, Disney is not cheap. I don't even. Does that thousand even cover the food? Because food over there is expensive too. I assume you guys are gonna leave the park and go eat somewhere, more affordable, but still, everything at Disneyland is expensive and it's complicated. There's so many things you have to do to be able to ride a ride. You need the fast pass and this pass. This pass does this. It's a necessary stress. Like I said, I don't get why you'd want to go, but OP, I think you have a really good deal where you cover everything and you have to watch your kids. She has to watch your kids a few times. I would take that deal if it was somewhere I wanted to go. So no, OP, no, you are not the beehole. Our final one comes from Familiar Village 199. Am I the beehole for refusing to help my parents keep their home, since it's my brother's fault they're losing it? Growing up, anything that went wrong in my house was my fault. I wasn't a good student and I smoked a lot of weed. My brother was perfect. He got good marks and went into university. I went to a trade school and learned how to weld. See, trade school. I'll say it every time, trade school. My parents started demanding rent. I paid. It wasn't much, and then I found out they were giving it to my brother for spending money. Oh, that's freaking evil. So I left. I could afford a small apartment on my own or a larger one with friends. Simple choice. I was willing to trade money for freedom. After I left, they noticed stuff had been stolen. They blamed me. Spoiler alert, it wasn't me. Hey, so my perfect brother went to jail. Turns out no matter how smart you are, the SEC is smarter. My parents asked me for help with his legal bills. I politely declined. They ended up helping him so much that they had to remortgage their paid off house. Oh, that's stupid. You never risk the house, especially if it's paid off, which they are now having trouble paying back. Interest rates have gone up much higher than when they did this. They called to ask me for help. I asked them if they ever figured out who really stole from them. They declined to answer, but we both know the answer. My mom said she was sorry she accused me, but still won't admit that it was him. I kind of feel bad because I could help them. I probably have enough put away to just pay off the house, but that means I help my brother, and seriously, F that guy. Honestly, OP, even if it didn't help your brother, I wouldn't help them. The way they treated you and, basically cast you aside and played favorites, no parent should be playing favorites. You know what I mean? My parents never did that. It's a messed up thing to do and making it so brazen and obvious. And they dislike you so much that when you left, they thought you stole from them instead of the obvious, culprit, your brother. It sounds like they're people who look down on blue collar jobs and think white collar jobs are better. That's why, oh, he went to college and he's so smart and blah, blah, blah. Oh, you're just a welder. You went into trades. People don't know, man. They keep sleeping on that stuff. Welders make good money too. You have enough to pay off their house. OP, screw them. They already paid off their house and they made this stupid move. If they were good parents, they would have let your brother stay in jail and rot for a while so he can learn his lesson. Because even if they keep bailing him out, he's going to keep doing this because he knows he can get away with it and he has no consequences to his actions. Plus, that money is your money. You worked hard and you saved up that money. Don't you want to buy a house? Don't you want to buy, something big eventually in your life? Like, a house. Like I said, they already paid off their house and they screwed up. They shouldn't have helped them. They gotta deal with their own consequences of their own actions too. So P, not the beehole, and save your money and don't give them 1 red cent. Remember, they don't want you. You're not the golden. You're not their favorite. You're casted aside. You're a wretch. Why would they want to accept money from you? Like that should be disgusting to them to accept it from their non-favorite child. So P, not the beehole. Thank you for making it to the end of the video with me, and can you please do what I said in the beginning, and like, comment, and subscribe. It really and truly does help the channel out, it helps it grow, and it helps you get more videos like this. Velvet out.